the quiet has ended. After weeks of vicious fan backlash, incessant headlines, and deafening criticism, Angel Reese has finally had enough. For the first time since the media tempest broke out, the Chicago Sky star, who was previously praised as the face of the WNBA's new era, is speaking up, and her remarks astonished the whole sports world. Pundits have criticized Angel's playing, attitude, and even position in the league, calling her overhyped and saying she is just talk and no substance. Videos of her fumbles, missed layups, and heated arguments went popular on social media. She was publicly questioned by commentators as to whether she should be on the same court as Caitlin Clark. "She's riding on hype, not talent," one person even remarked. Angel Reese is firing back now, though Angel gazed directly into the camera during an unvarnished, emotive, and unpolished interview, and his 5 words, "I'm done being silent now," changed everything. She didn't hold back when she revealed the bigotry, the double standards, and the manipulation. A movement has now been sparked by what began as a media attack. Because Angel Reese is declaring war, not just defending herself. And this is only the start. Angel Reese was on a high before the storm. Straight into the WNBA spotlight, the former LSU sensation had brought her confidence, style, and domination. Known as the Bayou Barbie, she represented a brand, a symbol, and, to many, the face of a new, unrepentant era of women's basketball. She was more than simply a baller. Angel Reese came into the league with high expectations after being selected by the Chicago Sky. Everyone was still thinking about her fights with Caitlin Clark in college. The endorsements came pouring in. Every motion she made was captured on camera. She was signed by Reebok. No one disregarded her, but fans either loved her or couldn't stand her. At that point, things began to fall apart. The story changed the instant Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA. Reese became the lightning rod. While Clark was seen as the modest hero, the golden girl elevating the sport, every shot that was missed was amplified. Each emotional outburst was examined closely. The media attacked her character in addition to criticizing her game. Angel Reese, rising star, was replaced by Angel Reese. Locker room liability in the headlines. Then followed the terrible defeats. The Chicago Sky dropped in the rankings. Angel's statistics declined. Videos of her arguing with teammates went viral. Former players began to make subtle jabs. According to unnamed sources, she was not focused and difficult to coach. And Angel said nothing as all of this was going on. So far, Angel Reese talked candidly about the strain, betrayal, and pain she's been holding within 4 months. In her first in-person interview since the drama broke out, she spoke through tears as she discussed the psychological effects of being demonized, the difficulty of living up to an unachievable standard, and how the league's media apparatus lifted her up just to bring her down. However, it was a call to action rather than merely a heartfelt tale. Angel exposed the duplicity, the way she is criticized for having passion while other players are commended for it. Black women are called angry, but white athletes are praised for their fire. Although she didn't mention specific individuals, the message was unmistakable and rocked the WNBA. Her detractors are already questioning their decision. Finally, players who have been silent are speaking up. What about the media? They're rushing to answer, because people pay attention when Angel Reese speaks. This interview is a reset, not only a response, a moment that has the power to alter our perceptions of WNBA players, our assessment of emotion, and our tendency to dismiss Black achievement when it doesn't conform to a predetermined standard. Angel Reese is not requesting sympathy. She is requesting deference. Additionally, the tale isn't about her being a problem for the first time in weeks. For those who believed she would remain silent, she is a problem. A notice has been issued to the league, and the actual mayhem is only getting started. The interview was brutally honest, strong, and unvarnished. However, the league and media retaliated forcefully just as Angel Reese was beginning to regain her voice. Within a day of the interview broadcasting, prominent WNBA pundits began breaking down each statement. Sports blogs accused Angel of deflecting from poor performance. ESPN anchors questioned whether she was playing the victim, and social media erupted with hashtags like #AccountabilityMatters trending, obviously intended to undermine her story. However, that was hardly the most significant twist. Everything changed behind the scenes when an anonymous leak from the Chicago Sky's organization came to light. The leak claims that some team members were tired with Angel's demeanor and were relieved when she finally spoke up, thinking it would be the start of the end. According to the leak, team executives convened a secret meeting with management and coaches to discuss the long-term chemistry problem that Angel was causing. In the locker room, the back was cut with a knife. During the interview, Angel had stood up for her comrades. She was unwilling to blame anyone. She claimed to have still believed in her squad and to have a desire to build unity. However, as she worked to keep them safe, someone inside the camp was brutally and anonymously betraying her. Fans were taken aback by this revelation. The narrative abruptly changed once more, this time pitting Angel against her own squad rather than just the media. Was the locker room truly irreparably broken? Was Angel correct all along that she was being attacked from within as much as from the outside? Investigating further, insider reporters started. According to a seasoned beat reporter, at least 2 veteran players were urging Angel to be traded at the end of the current campaign. According to a different report, the assistant coaches were split, with some accusing Angel of being the cause of the team's instability and others accusing the system of failing her. Reese's own supporters came together to support her. When TikTok producers examined the betrayal frame by frame, pointing out how teammates had appeared aloof or contemptuous in post-game interviews, it all made sense. They showered Instagram with support, naming the sky in posts that said, "Y'all don't deserve her." However, this is where the first significant twist occurred. NBA star, media tycoon, and one of Angel's most well-known mentors, Shaquille O'Neal, went live on his podcast and went all out about the WNBA, with passion in his voice. He declared, "Angela Reese is a future superstar, and you people out here are treating her as though she's not important, as if she weren't a queen. To be honest, I would construct a team around her if I were in charge of one. That's not how you trade talent. You keep it safe." Shaq went on to criticize some teammates for giving the media insider information. He cautioned that any powerful black lady who disobeyed the rules could suffer the same fate as Angel. Boom. Angel was suddenly no longer alone. Furthermore, media narratives were no longer the only aspect of the fight. It was about heritage, power, and who gets to decide the WNBA's destiny. In addition to rocking the internet, Shaq's public defense of Angel Reese sparked a chain reaction that revealed the true extent of the WNBA's internal strife. It was announced that Angel Reese had been summoned to a private emergency meeting with the Chicago Sky front office just hours after Shaq's podcast clip went viral. A leaked letter that has been making the rounds among reporters claims that the meeting was about discipline as much as team dynamics. The time and topic of Angel's interview apparently infuriated upper management, who said she broke media protocol and jeopardized team unity. However, Angel refused to give up. According to others familiar with the conversation, she addressed executives bluntly, "I've been silent for too long. I'm the scapegoat now, after you all made me the face when it was convenient. No more." The big surprise, however, was when an unnamed assistant coach allegedly drew Angel away later and alerted her that a trade was being considered in private. Yes, the same group Angel donated her heart to was getting ready to move on without her just a few days after Shaq made his support public. The fans were incensed. With the hashtag #FreeAngelReese trending on all platforms, social media erupted once more. Videos analyzing potential trade destinations were shared by sports influencers. And insiders disclosed that 2 Western Conference teams had already gotten in touch with Angel's representatives. The most astounding discovery to date, however, followed. A WNBA gossip page on TikTok received a leaked video of a locker room scene that went viral and was purportedly shot just 2 games prior. A clear but muffled voice, purportedly that of one of Angel's own colleagues, could be heard in the video saying, "She believes she is more important than the team. She is simply loud. She is not a queen. She is not a queen." The basketball community was rocked by the footage. Some admirers claimed to recognize the voice, and Angel's staunchest supporters quickly referred to it as proof of the betrayal. There were some who insisted that the group look into the leak internally. It couldn't have come at a worse or more incendiary time. Angel Reese replied with the following mysterious tweet, "You can't pretend to be a sister forever." Minutes later, Shaq replied, "Have a tall stance. Peasants are not deferred to by queens." Both supporters and former players were now putting pressure on the league, while PR teams rushed to manage the narrative, releasing statements about respect, internal matters, and supporting all players equally. WNBA veterans started to weigh in, with some praising Angel and others saying she had a lot of growing up to do. However, the harm was already done to Angel. She was no longer only battling media criticism. She was now dealing with a developing whisper campaign to get her kicked out of Chicago completely. Sabotage from within her own locker room, and unclear leadership from her front office. What started off as a fearless defense of her voice was rapidly degenerating into a serious professional catastrophe. But Angel wasn't finished yet. Because of the last twist, she was going to change the course of events in a way that nobody anticipated. The internet went crazy when Angel Reese's leaked locker room treachery went viral, and the commotion extended well beyond basketball. The WNBA's official pages were inundated with angry comments from fans. You allowed Angel Reese to be destroyed, but you allowed Caitlin Clark to have all the protection. What does supporting black women look like, then? The league's silence speaks for itself. For 72 hours in a row, #FreeAngelReese was trending. The developing controversy was the subject of emergency episodes on several popular podcasts. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN couldn't avoid getting involved and delivered a scathing tirade live on TV. This surpasses Angel Reese in size. This concerns our treatment of black women in athletics who are vocal and unapologetically proud forever. In yet another Instagram video, Shaquille O'Neal doubled down and specifically called out the WNBA commissioner. Do you want to start a league? Then safeguard your stars. You kept Caitlin safe, now keep Angel safe. The opposition, however, wasn't one-sided. Angel's actions were questioned by prominent WNBA observers, who suggested that her media outburst was poor timing and disrespectful to the team structure. One former player even went so far as to say, leading and burning bridges are two different things. Angel is treading carefully. Brands were responding as well. Smaller fashion and accessory companies, among other sponsors of Angel Reese, made evasive remarks about valuing professionalism and evaluating ongoing partnerships. Reebok, on the other hand, remained steadfast, publishing a bold image that read, "Athletes are not silenced. We magnify them." Nevertheless, pressure was mounting from all sides. At the next game, Chicago Sky supporters carried signs that read, "We got your back, Angel." Other fans in the audience screamed, "Trade her." While warming up, the team's cohesion was being torn apart by the loud, public division. The media, meanwhile, fueled the craze. Headline following headline, the Chicago meltdown of Angel Reese, from headache to hero. Is Angel deserving of the drama? However, a former teammate provided the most damaging coverage. Speaking anonymously to a major outlet, this took time to accomplish. For weeks, Angel has been solitary. We made an effort to assist. She simply didn't pay attention. In real time, the story was being altered. A national conflagration fueled by race, gender, fame, and the politics of a league frantically for attention began as Angel struggled to speak her truth, but there was still one last thing Angel Reese could do. When she finally made it, everything was different. Angel Reese unleashed a bombshell that completely upended the narrative. Just when it appeared that the media frenzy could not be stopped, Angel calmly added, "I stare into the camera during a surprise live appearance on a black-owned media platform, not ESPN or Bleacher Report, but an independent outlet known for championing unfiltered athlete voices. Do you guys believe I'm the bad guy? No, I was given receipts. I'm also tired of being used as a scapegoat by everyone." She then played a voice note that had been leaked. Behind closed doors, she could hear a female voice, obviously a teammate, making fun of her. She is constantly behaving like the protagonist. This isn't LSU anymore, girl, we're not your admirers. One more voice added, allow her to sob, to Shaq once more. Check to see if he also gets her traded. There was silence in the room. The internet took off. Angel was right, became popular on all platforms in a matter of minutes. Supporters who had questioned her quickly changed their minds. Walkbacks were issued by major bloggers. Even several teammates who had previously kept quiet began sharing mysterious Instagram tales. Such as this one, the truth always surfaces. However, it didn't stop there. During a news conference, the head coach of the Chicago Sky was directly questioned if the voice in the leak was that of one of their starters. His answer: "At this moment, no remark. We're dealing with it that merely fueled the flames." Angel's agency, meanwhile, made hints that a documentary agreement was already being discussed. It was too enormous, too unvarnished, and too real to be disregarded. There were rumors that she was meeting with Netflix executives and getting ready to present her own case without any edits, filters, or PR that was approved by the league. And just when it appeared that Angel was back in charge of the story, She gave a forward cliffhanger at the end of the broadcast that made every WNBA fan shudder. I haven't finished yet. Nobody is certain of her exact meaning. A move, a lawsuit, a snitch. However, one thing was for sure, war had just been proclaimed by Angel Reese, and everyone was holding their breath in the sports world, awaiting her next action. The world is now watching. In a WNBA society that has been all too accustomed to ignoring issues, Angel Reese has broken the taboo, shown the hypocrisy in her own locker room, and ignited a fire. She is more than simply a budding basketball player now. She is a force. But with all of this, where do you stand? Are you going through the flames with Angel? Or are you among the skeptics she had to retort to? This goes beyond basketball. This is about truth, respect, and what happens when a black lady stands up against hate and doesn't back down. And your voice counts now more than ever. Post in the comments if you believe this drama has gone too far or if you are on #Team Angel. Do you believe the voices that were leaked were authentic? Does the WNBA need to look into this? Is it appropriate to suspend players? Or is Angel manipulating the media for her personal gain off the court? As this crazy story develops, we will be providing daily updates, leaks, responses, fresh perspectives, everything that they would prefer you not to know. In the event that you haven't already, press the subscribe button. Activate every notification. Because believe me, you will fall far behind if you don't see the next turn in this story. Hit the like button and forward this video to someone who needs to know the truth if you support Angel and are sick of her gaslighting and ready to let her take charge. Because this isn't the end of it. Not even close. Angel Reese simply changed the course of events. What about the following chapter? Might permanently alter the WNBA. Keep an eye out. The war has only just started.